So one of my favourite motivational quotes is, winners are simply willing to do what others won't. I love that. The problem is, it tends to bring to mind, the minute you say winners are simply willing to do what others won't, I think what we tend to do is we tend to assume that they're talking about the big stuff. You know, they're willing to work all through the night on a regular basis. They're willing to sacrifice their personal life, burn through a marriage, travel the world, take loads and loads of risks, huge risks, that's what winners are willing to do that others won't. The problem with that is that it's coming from a definition of winner, or an idea of a winner, that isn't right. It's not accurate. It doesn't mean you're a multi-millionaire. The way we really want to be thinking about this is, have you ever had somebody greet you at the beginning of a day, and instead of saying, "Hi, how are you?" they say, "Hey, you're winning." Now, I really like that. I really like that because it gives us that idea that you can win on a daily basis. And that is the kind of winner that we're talking about when we use the phrase, winners are simply willing to do what others won't. They win by living up to their own expectations of themselves. That's it. They do what they intend to do. They do what they say they are going to do. That's a winner. And I'm telling you now, those little things that they do on a daily basis are ultimately what's going to make the difference, a massive difference in their lives. They're making the phone call. They're sending the email, they're taking the time to update their CV and go for the jobs that they want. They're taking the time to do the planning. They're going to the gym, they're eating well, they're making better choices, whatever. These are the small things that you do every single day that are going to make a huge, huge difference going forward. That is what the winners are simply willing to do that perhaps you currently are not. We all do it, we can all fall into that trap, and here's the problem, here's the reason. Because the other part of that quote is willing. And we often don't see it that way, we often don't see it in terms of, well, am I willing to do it? If you think about all of the little habits that you keep intending, you know you should introduce into your life, and you know they'd make a significant difference. If somebody were to sit down and say to you, so you're obviously, you're not doing X, Y, and Z, and presumably you're not willing to do that, no? Most people are going to be quite offended by that. I know I would be. If somebody sat there and went, so you're not willing to do all those things that you keep saying you should do? No, you're not willing to do that. That stings. That does sting. I hate that idea of somebody coming up to me and going, you're not willing to do it. That's what it is. You're not willing. I don't like that. So instead, we tend to go for things like, I'm willing, I'm finding it really difficult. Or the timing isn't right. I'm under so much stress at work right now, or so much pressure, or blah, 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 blah. Any excuse under the sun, but we will never, or at least very, very rarely, will we say, no, I'm not willing to do that. But the reality is, you're making a choice. Every single time you tell yourself, I really should do this, or I intend to do this, anything in that vein, you set an intention and you don't see it through. That's got nothing to do with can and can't. You can do it. Think about it. When you have to do it, you get it done. If there's anything that you have to do, if you have to, take some medication on a daily basis, and your immediate health is dependent on that, you get it done. You introduce the habit. You have to get up and get ready for work in time every day. If you don't do that, you get fired, you can't pay your bills. That's a must. So you get it done. You can introduce habits, good, strong habits, into your life when you have to. So it's not a question of whether you can or can't do it. The secret in all of this is that there are two things you need to be willing to do. You need to be willing to do whatever the action is that you intend to do, make the phone call, send the email, drink more water, whatever it is. You need to be willing to take that action. But the second thing that you need to be willing to do is confront the discomfort of breaking an old habit and bringing in a new one. Believe me, you push through it for a while, you will come out the other side and it'll be easy. It'll become part of your routine like every other habit you've ever introduced in your life. But you've got to be willing to push through, push over and past that hurdle to begin with. That is what winners are simply willing to do that others won't.